Everyone's got beers. Everyone's fired up.
Jeremy will be very pleased that we're back. I'm
I
sure. I'm
technically
sure.
don't have a
I'm sure
beer.
all of America will be. They've been clamoring for our return. So
For the record, we never broke up. We just took a 28-day vacation.
that's correct.
Okay, Glenn.
So good.
Wait, Matt, you don't have a beer? What the fuck?
I've got a seltzer.
Does it have alcohol in it?
It's a tell me how your week's going without tell me how your week's going.
Oh, I see.
Ha.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, dang. That is fancy. I've never seen that before.
Hard seltzer limonada.
Okay. Nice.
Strawberry.
It's good, I'm assuming, right?
It's not bad.
It's Did I see Corona on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Corona seltzer. Wow.
I wanted to try it and it was $1.99.
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to get a tall boy.
I was gonna say it looks like a tall boy too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 24 ounces.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So Matt's getting fired up for tonight. That we
Love
know.
Mm-hmm,
I'm just tired. It's I think I'm up to like 38 hours worked over 3 days. So
Oh,
yeah.
Man, oh man.
It's inventory
Dirt
week.
business.
It's fun. I gotta go count dirt. So,
inventory week. Count every little speck.
yes. That's 1 dirt, 2 dirt, 3 dirt.
You must all be accounted for.
Very good, very good. Ethan, I saw you pop something open. What you got?
Matt and I, our most recent box of other half stuff is a box of collabs. The one that I have tonight is called Land of Hazy Waters, and it is a collab with what? Modest, Matt?
Modest, yeah.
Modest.
For the uninitiated, it's supposed to look like a Hams can. Anyone's ever had Hams beer from up in
Delicious.
the upper north or the upper Midwest?
What is that? What's Hams? What is that?
It's like a PBR brand up in like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Chicago.
Okay. So it's supposed to look like that, you're saying?
Yeah, the can looks like that, except it's blue on the bottom, but the script writing and everything looks about the same.
Is Modest out of the Midwest?
I think you're out of Minneapolis.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not 100% sure. I'll look it up while Colin tells us what beer he's drinking. Also, sorry, listeners. I was sitting far away from the mic. I will fix that.
You were sounding fine.
Loud and clear now, Matt. So I'm drinking a beer from Mackay Brewing tonight. When vacation started for all of us, I was in Ocean Isle. So this is the brewery right in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. This is the Kamana Wana Leia, I think is the way you pronounce it. It's a juicy IPA, and it's pretty delicious.
Sure.
Probably Kamana Wana Leia.
Yes. I don't know what I said, but
yeah, like play on words there.
Yep, that would make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, and Modus is Minneapolis, Ethan,
Okay.
because I somehow seem to need to know that.
I wish there was like a competition, like a national competition for like craft beer trivia, like breweries, just knowledge of breweries, knowledge of where they are, what they're called, what kind of beers they're famous for, maybe knowledge of like even a couple specific actual beers, right? Like Julius for Treehouse, like a specific one, not just, IPAs in general. I feel like you would have an excellent chance and you would win a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? You could place top
10. I mean, there's a lot like me though. I think I'd have a shot.
A lot of other neckbeards.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Except that's kind of a derogatory term. So
no, I know.
But I did shave it, so
Hey, there you go. All right. Classing it up. I like it.
Beautiful stuff. Well, I figured we can definitely recap. We've all seen each other, not all together, but we have seen each other during vacation, and we can recap that. But before we do, we've had some long overdue things to get to. And the reason it's long overdue is not just because of the time period, but because it comes from fans. And whenever we keep the fans waiting, I feel bad. And we've kept the fans waiting long enough. But the first piece of feedback, we'll call it, I'm going to share is from again Lorraine Stoddard, who Lorraine Pascarella now.
Thank you.
Gave us a shout out a few weeks back, if you remember. And she said, listening. So this is in response to the whole Altuve situation that we talked about on the podcast. And she said, listening to the latest pod. So that tells you how long ago this was. I'm with you and thought the same thing after seeing the highlights. Throw that ball right at him and send a message. Thumbs up 100.
Oh, hilarious. Wow.
I told her that was excellent feedback and that I would be sharing it on this week's pod.
So what is that? So you were pro plunk. Team pro plunk is Colin and Lorraine for sure. Anti plunk is Matt and Toddy for sure.
100%. Yep.
I don't remember where I was standing. I think I was waffling in the middle. But all right, so we got at least 2v2 though here, and then one waffler.
Yeah, and we'll see if any more listeners want to chime in and add to the tallies one way or another. If you need to be the tiebreaker, we'll force you to come up with a position one way or another.
And we did just have a series against the Astros, right? I don't think he got plunked, didn't we?
Since that series, oh yeah, right, yeah, the 2 games after
was it just 2? Yeah.
Yeah, to make up for the first. It was supposed to be the first series of the year, but because they canceled the first week because of the lockout.
Right.
So that was why.
Yeah, and I don't think they plunked him. So
no plunk yet. All right, so that was the first thing. Second thing here, I've got quite a bit. So cousin Greg texted me and said that
if this is about what you can and cannot taste the rest of your life, I'm out.
Matt has had 2 trying of a work week to deal with such
I'm just
uncomfortable hypotheticals. Yeah.
So he cousin Greg has 4 kids, as we talked about on the one podcast episode, and the third oldest, Alessio, he says to me a couple weeks ago, he goes, Alessio likes to look me up on YouTube. He happened to watch the episode when I was on the pod. He said I was with Colin, Ethan, and some guy named Root.
Root or Root?
Root.
Okay.
He then started reciting the episode. So I said I'd give him a shout out. And he was pretty stoked then. I hope you're still stoked, buddy. I know this was a little bit delayed. He hit the gritty is what Greg said when I told him I'd give him a shout out. So
awesome.
After that happened, all of the boys wanted to chime in, and they have a few mailbag questions from us.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we have some hard hitting questions here. I'll start with Alessio since he kind of kicked all this off. So Alessio had one question and then he changed his question. I'm going to ask both questions just because they're pretty simple. Alessio wants to know, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Penn State,
by far.
Penn State blue.
Penn State blue, green. I really like maroon or purple.
Maroon.
Wow.
Yeah, maroon's awesome, man. A nice like deep dark maroon. Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Wait, Alessio listened to like a whole episode, right?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Probably 7 now.
Jesus.
7, 8.
Well,
yeah.
Sorry, Greg, for all the language that he heard and will hear if he listens to this one too. Okay. All right, what was the next one?
Matt, what did you say? Favorite color?
Me? Green.
Yeah, green. Oh, green. Got it.
Green Bay. Yeah, I like the green team.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so he changed his question. So this is the official question from Alessio. Who's your favorite basketball player is what he wants to know.
Ooh.
This can be all time. It doesn't have to be current. I'll make that distinction.
Okay. I mean, I don't know anything about basketball. I'm thinking of like NBA Street from like GameCube in like circa 2003. I want to pick like a fictional character from that. But if I have to pick somebody real, when I did care about basketball, I mean, the easy answer would be Carmelo, because when he was at Syracuse, I was still following Syracuse basketball. Obviously, he was a legendary player for them, even for just 1 year, and he's gone on to have a great NBA career. So he's the easy answer. But I mean, we've talked a lot about these sort of transcendent athletes. We're lucky right now. We are living at a time where athletes in every sport are better than they have ever been, right? Because of modern science, modern medicine, what we know about what to do to the human body. Athletes now are better than ever, right? And we've talked a lot about like Mike Trout, and we should talk maybe a little more about Shohei Ohtani, because that's truly insane what he does. But how can you not look at somebody like LeBron, and not just totally love that guy? I mean, like one of the greatest athletes in history, regardless. And I mean, it's pretty cool. What was I feel like Mike Schur calls him like the Terminator or like RoboCop or something. I mean, he kind of is, right? He's like superhuman, So I feel like it's probably a cliche, but how can you not give LeBron some love too?
Yeah, that was a good one though.
Athlete. Andy's a great philanthropist too. I think it's overlooked a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Puts his money where his mouth is, down in his home city of Akron. So
yep, for sure. Who do you
I'm
got?
going Alessio. I'm going Shaq.
That's a good one.
Good. Big Diesel, the big Aristotle, the Shaqtus. John Steele from one of his terrible movies. So yeah, I don't know. I gotta go.
Shaq's
I
awesome.
gotta go Shaq.
Andy's funny.
Shaq Fu, Shaq branded cream sodas, the General Car Insurance, Papa John's pizzas, Gold Bond powder, that GIF where Shaq is like doing that thing with his shoulders. I mean, he's just everywhere.
He's got a good sense of humor. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I will say the one thing I don't like about Shaq, if you look at the clips of his $20 theory on filling your tank of gas, it's just dumb. But other than that, Shaq here in my book.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm
easy.
I'm gonna go with Shaq's partner, Kobe Bryant. Definitely all-time favorite, not even close. I mean, I love LeBron too, obviously. I mean, even more now that he's a Laker, but the transcendent stuff that you talked about, Ethan, like obviously resonates, but man, there was just something special about watching Kobe and all the daggers and all the championships, and it was obviously super fun with Shaq, why he was there too. But yeah, Kobe's easy for me. All right, so let's go to the oldest, Luciano. You may not have any strong opinion on his question, but he wants to know Messi or Ronaldo.
Messi.
Matt's got Messi.
I don't know enough about either of them. Are they both like douchebags? Are they decent guys? What's the deal? I know we're talking about two of the greatest soccer players of all time.
They both won the Golden Boot. Like, they both think they're models. They're not, but they both think they are. I feel like, in general, I don't like athletes with perfectly coiffed hair.
And is that what Ronaldo has?
Both of them do.
Both of them.
Messi, maybe not. I gotta see. But Ronaldo definitely. That Portuguese friend is always making sure he looks his finest.
I'll abstain because I know nothing.
I'll go with Messi.
Wow, I agree with Messi. Matt. Sweeps. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, right. I think Colin, and again, I don't know. I think Ronaldo's got more accolades, correct? But I just think I like Messi.
Yeah, I think for us, we care far less than those boys do about soccer. I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
So I'll probably get some angry text messages tomorrow if we pick the wrong one. We'll find out. Stay tuned. All right, let's move on to Catano.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, so wait, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Messi's got more league titles. Ronaldo's got more Champions League titles. Ronaldo's okay, maybe I don't know enough I don't know enough about this stuff I'm reading. So
Yeah, you got to know the lingo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's won more golden boots? That's the only thing I know about. But anyway, okay, sorry, continue.
All right, Katanos is a fun one. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Ooh, that is a good one.
Yeah, very tough.
MLB The Show. Any year.
Wow, did not expect that.
No, MVP baseball 2004.
Oh, I mean, I loved that. I mean, I think I had MVP 05, the one with Manny on the
The
cover.
Manny one, whatever the Manny one.
I think
was,
that one was
05 or
05.
06.
A great game.
Considered by many to be the best baseball game ever.
The Show is better though. I mean, I played The Show some in college, and it's just objectively just like, well, because the technology was better, right? Between 2011 and like 2005.
I've never played a game after that. Well, okay, I bought the college version the year after when PlayStation bought the rights, exclusive rights to release, or Xbox. Someone did Xbox. Someone bought it, and I could never buy it again. So I played the college version. The college version stunk.
Oh, okay.
But the MVP baseball manual, ooh man,
That was an amazing
game.
game.
You play career mode and you unlock Mickey Mantle, and like I had a team with like Mickey Mantle and Lou Boudreau and Phil Necro on it, and Al Kaline and me, me.
Yeah. And I have to give I mean, I always played baseball video games more than anything else, but I do have to give an honorable mention to Nintendo GameCube Super Smash Brothers Melee. I played that for many hours in college with my roommates. And in fact, it's hard to choose between that and like MLB The Show, but
yeah, it depends on the category.
Yeah,
it's like when you're trying to pick a TV show, like is it comedy, is it drama, or whatever?
Right. Yeah, because
like,
if I'm going like action shooter, Half-Life franchise by far. But like I want what I've logged the most hours on, MVP baseball.
Another honorable mention, Backyard Baseball.
Ooh,
yeah,
classic.
Ooh, Pablo all the way.
Yeah. Pablo Sanchez, baby.
That's a good one.
And I want to guess Collins.
Go ahead.
It's the Bruce Springsteen experience rock band.
Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball 94 on Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah,
gotta be. Yep.
Yeah. I would say between that and the last NCAA football, which I think was 14. I mean, I'd continue to play that one just because I love college football too.
Oh, they don't make it anymore?
The licensing thing. It's supposedly coming back next year, I think maybe.
The last NCAA football video game was 2014.
Mm-hmm. Because of the O'Bannon thing or whatever. Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
I mean, it shows how much I still have an Xbox 360 and many games that I haven't played.
Yeah.
Just you get old. That happens.
Yeah, it's harder when you get older. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the games are absolutely phenomenal, and the boys are probably losing their minds because there's probably some game out there right now that's just like
well, yeah, none of us have played Fortnite or like Minecraft or any of these like generational.
I have tried Minecraft and it's cool.
Oh, you would.
Yeah. Well, a ton of my students play it.
No, I know. It's actually, I mean, what you can do in that in terms of
it's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. It's impressive what the people who like run that game have achieved. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's even things you can do. There's a lot of learn how to code classes that are based in Minecraft, which is I think really cool in a way to reach a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got one. Do you guys remember? So we've all played NFL Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then they had like NHL Hits.
Yep. Love that.
Do you guys remember the name? I can't remember the name, and I don't want to Google it because I'm feeling lazy. But the baseball version of that, because there was a baseball version.
Was there?
And like you could like mash all the buttons to get upgrades. I remember you could get like a spike bat.
I don't remember that.
You could get like a balloon bat. You could get all the like fancy bats. Like once the play was over, if you threw the ball to like the base of the runner was standing, you could just like punch the guy. And I just remember
like Odor
in that was like like Runed and Joey Bats. Yeah, I just punch guys. You could do major takeout slides, but I also remember the most unfair character was of all people Tim Wakefield, because like the knuckleball in that would be like woo. So
funny,
and I think it was like MLB Hardball or something.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
So we got one question left.
Yeah, from the youngest one, right?
from the godson,
What's his name again?
Domenico.
That's what I thought. Okay, how old is he?
Domenico will be 6, I believe, on August 15th.
Hey,
Okay.
Greg, I really think you could have chosen more Italian names. I really think you missed an opportunity there.
Missed a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
I know.
They're
I
great
was
names.
purposely,
They're great
I was
names.
purposely like calling out all the names so
Yeah.
everyone can hear.
They're great
Yeah.
names.
I love
That
it.
is
I love
100% sarcasm. They're great names. It's like we have another friend of all three of ours whose nephew is named Giuseppe, and I just
Yeah.
love that.
Yep.
Shout out Giuseppe. Shout out
Super
Little
good.
Frank.
Little Frank. All right. The Godson's question. Are you ready for this one?
Bring it.
Do you like hot dogs?
Oh, this is actually a good question and a very important question because there's a correct way to eat a hot dog, okay? And then there's an incorrect way to eat a hot dog. All right? And it has everything to do with the condiments. All right? It's all about the condiments. Hot dogs, to each their own in terms of texture or what various meat parts are in there. That's fine, whatever. It's all about the condiments. Hot dogs with ketchup are fucking garbage because ketchup is fucking garbage. Get that shit out of here. Hot dogs with mustard, delicious. One of mankind's greatest achievements. Okay? So that's the important distinction here. So Domenico, if you want to be on the right side of history, you're young enough. Start now. Only have mustard on your hot dogs. And if you want to get fancy, you add in like some sauerkraut on there, maybe some onions. Oh, so good.
Now
That's how you do it.
To steal a joke from one of my favorite comedians, Ethan, you're a pretty open and accepting and loving person, but it sounds like you have some pretty Republican taste buds there.
Oh man, okay, that's like the worst insult I can imagine, and now I want to take it all back. Yeah.
No, the joke, and I'll post it for you guys later. It's about the comedian is standing on a stage in Chicago, and he's like, "I'm an opening person, I'm an accepting person, I love everyone, and then sometimes I just like putting ketchup on a hot dog, and everyone in the crowd starts booing him, and he goes, ooh, someone found a chili in the candy bowl. Looks like your taste buds are Republican. Ooh." Anyway,
I like that.
Shout out Kyle Kinane. Shout out great comedian. Shout out freaking in Philadelphia the 3 days I'm in Denver. Sacrifices. Okay, I'm particular. So I'm Ethan. I'm going to be a purist here.
Yeah.
Hot dogs should be eaten naked.
Wow.
Put in a bun, no condiments needed. Just hot dog bun. Now, I get particular because all the your major national store brands are garbage. I don't want Nathan's famous or not famous. Nathan's are famously bad.
Hoffman's,
ballpark
Syracuse.
hot dogs. I'm sorry. Keep them in the ballpark. Don't sell them to me at the store. I don't want them. Hebrew National
Dodger dog. Come on.
Dodger dog. Fucking gross.
Ugh.
Hoffman's hot dogs. Specifically, even more than that, Hoffman's Snappy Grillers, also known colloquially in the Syracuse area as Conies. Now that is modeled in the German street sausage tradition, and it's a little spicy, little white hot dog sausage, bratwursty looking thing. Delicious.
And it's amazing. You know how there's like some things when you're in it, you don't appreciate it. But like, I think all of us appreciated the fact that like Hoffman's hot dogs and Hyde's, for example, were like big things in the Syracuse area when we were all living there. And I mean, definitely agree that in terms of taste, I remember my cousin Chris used to beg my mom to bring the Hoffman hot dogs down to Scranton.
Oh, amazing.
Like when we were younger and everything, like and so yeah, the taste and everything. I will say that I got a dog at the Oriole Yankee game over the weekend. It was great. I love ballpark dogs. Sign me up for every single one of them. Even if they're garbage, there's something about being at the ballpark that makes them taste really good. But
a shitty hot dog is redeemable, but shitty French fries irredeemable. Okay, and we need to talk about that later. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. I put ketchup on my hot dogs though.
Ugh.
I mean, I don't mind mustard, but I just put ketchup on my hot dogs.
Do you want me to ruin hot dogs for you guys? I don't know if I should say this with young cousins listening.
I mean, we already know that they're made of all sorts of random innards and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but it can get worse though.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I don't know. I wish we could get Greg on the line right now to find out whether he wants us to say this, if his kids are going to listen.
Earmuffs, maybe?
Yeah, earmuffs. Greg, earmuffs for the kids right now.
Well, I think
if you want
Alessio
to.
watches this on his own, so that's probably not going to work.
Well, I guess it's not a swear word.
Wait, who watches on his own?
Alessio. He just goes on.
He just did it on his
YouTube.
own.
Yeah.
So when I
amazing.
started at Scott's, my boss had previously worked at Oscar Mayer and proceeded to try and justify the disgusting meat tubes that Oscar Mayer sells and calls hot dogs by saying, well, no, our hot dogs are better. We don't use any of the reproductive meats.
Oh.
What the fuck is a reproductive meat? I know, but I don't want to know.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Funny. Hey, you know what? But here's the thing, right? We are spoiled growing up in the 21st century, but you don't have to go that far back in any of our families, right? If you go back literally 150 years, okay? 150 years ago, we're talking about the Industrial Revolution is maybe just getting going, okay? Society, culture throughout the world is still very agrarian, and most people are poor, and they have to grow what they are eating, right? Or at least grow some of what they are eating. And when they have an animal, they got to use every last bit, right? You can't let anything go to waste. So it makes sense that, like, you get some intestine or whatever to use as the casing, and then you just load it up with anything that's left. And you throw, in the case of sausages, you throw a fuck ton of seasoning on it so that you can eat it and not worry about what's in it. So like,
buttholes and ball sacks.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying I love the idea of it right now with my 21st century palate, but just saying that I think it was born of efficiency, which I respect.
Now to quote another famous comedian, just deep fry it and cover it in cheese, and Americans will eat it.
Exactly.
What is that? Deep fried raccoon's asshole? I'll tell you.
That was Carlin, right? Was that Carlin?
Yeah, give me some nacho cheese.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that was great questions from cousin Greg's voice. I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, Greg.
Now, okay, so here's the next question though. What Two Jocks and a Schlub swag is appropriate for 6 to 10-year-olds or wait, how old is Luciano now?
I like that.
Luciano is
13?
12. 13.
All right, so it's for 6 to 12, 6 to 13.
Ooh, yeah. Cousin Greg, let's get the feedback. Would they use coffee mugs? Do you want more coffee mugs?
Because they're too old for diapers. As fun as it would be to have a Two Jocks and a Schlub diaper, you could even have it just be my face. Just have a big picture of my face right on the ass of a diaper.
Yeah, but your face drawn by what, Joe or Luke?
Yeah, well, that would be the kicker if we did one of Joe's drawings. Yeah. Actually, I'm surprised, Joe. If I ever get married, that's probably what Joe will do for my present, for my wedding gift. He'll probably have that made. Absolutely.
Commission a big.
Hell yeah.
Big picture.
A giant diaper with my face on it. Absolutely.
Oh, a diaper. I was just going with a portrait, but if you want to go diaper.
Oh no, I mean,
I can coordinate with him. We can make that happen.
Yeah. Portrait would be way too much effort. He just
classy.
whips off all of these ridiculous drawings for me, and they're great. A portrait, yeah, that's way too much. A diaper though, he'd be into that. All right, but so 6 to 12, 6 to 13. Fuck, I don't know what are that's all my students, but like
stickers.
Stickers? I don't know if they like stickers.
No.
I mean, they all like
no. You guys are thinking what they would want. I'm thinking, what could I get made?
Oh,
I could get a sticker made.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
You're gonna say like, let's get like Nerf guns or something with our logo.
Nerf guns, that would be pretty funny. What about like a little plastic sippy cup? That'd be good for like Gaetano. Or no, not Gaetano.
Have you tried sourcing merch online? Do you know how hard it was just to get coffee mugs?
Isn't there that one website like Zazzle or Redbubble or some shit that will let you do like anything? I mean, I think the quality is suffering.
If they even do have sippy mugs, we're gonna have to order like 7,000 of them.
Well, I think that's how we're gonna set our,
We're
set
introducing the
ourselves
next
apart.
generation.
It's how we're gonna make our name in the podcast world. We're gonna be known as the podcast that made 7,000 sippy cups with its logo. Okay, that's how we're gonna get known.
Love it. So good. All right. Well, that was the fun. I will say, just ironically, one of my favorite comedians, Bill Burr, put out another Netflix special. He's Netflix rich,
This is a
as
good
he likes to
segue.
joke about. And I just happened to be watching the stand-up. I think literally the same night that you two were at Red Rocks, and his stand-up was recorded at Red Rocks.
That's right. I read about this.
Sometime in 2021, I believe. But uh, tell me, how is the show? I mean, the pictures 3 rows, away. Like, what's the recap?
Beer
So
could have been better. I fucked up. Ruined the whole night.
no, Matt's being silly.
I bought
well-
Colorado native beer thinking, oh, that'll be nice. And it's just Coors in a different can.
Yeah,
And
we
it was
probably should have
like-
brought your nice beer and like chugged it at the car before we went in or something.
Yeah, I mean, we had some at the car, but I could have
Yeah.
chugged more.
But there weren't any better options than that, I don't think.
Not money.
Right? At the bar that we went to, at least. The
No,
one that
I
we
mean,
saw?
people were getting mixed drinks, but I didn't want a mixed drink. I wanted a beer.
Yeah, right. Should I give a little background here? So, I have family in Boulder, Colorado. Okay. Okay. Did you guys see History of the World with Mel Brooks?
No.
Okay. Classic old movie, classic Mel Brooks movie. Same guy who did Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, right? History of the World is another classic.
It's Spanish
Spaceballs.
Inquisition.
Yeah. And there are bits of the movie that take place in different time periods, right? And there's one time period where Mel Brooks himself plays King Louis, what was it, the 14th? Whichever king was the last one before the revolution, right? And there keep being these scenes where he has something good happening, right? And then he looks at the camera and he goes, "It's good to be the king," right? And that kind of became like a phrase, right? That kind of became a phrase that people say. It's good to be the king, right? Now, my aunt who lives out in Boulder is this high-powered attorney. She's a fucking badass, right? And because of how hard she works and the money she makes and stuff, many of us in the family have been fortunate to have some really incredible experiences. And so what my uncle will say is, instead of "it's good to be the king," he'll say "it's good to be married to the queen." And then a few years ago, I decided to take that one level further, and I say that it's good to be the nephew of the queen. And so the reason is, we got to see my favorite band of all time in the third row at Red Rocks because of like my aunt, basically. Because you can imagine those seats are not cheap. I saw them at Red Rocks a few years ago, also with my family. And I mean, it's just an incredible experience for those who haven't been. Red Rocks is just a really amazing, unique, beautiful place. Matt can talk about it also. And yeah, Matt got to come this time, which was amazing. I had, when the show got announced back, I don't know, would have been maybe over the winter or something. The show got announced, and the guy who opened for Trampled was a favorite of my aunt and uncle. And so I called my uncle. I was like, "Hey, should we go? Can we go? Can I go? Can you get extra tickets?" And so they got extra tickets. And so me and I had texted Matt at the same time. And so Matt and I ended up both being able to go. We went to Colorado, and we had an amazing trip. Not only did we do that, so we went and we saw Trampled at Red Rocks. We saw Frank Turner, who's another one of our favorites, in Denver the next night. And over the course of 3 days, we went to a bunch of breweries in the area. We saw a couple of Matt's friends who live out there. It was really a wonderful trip. And the Red Rocks show was amazing. I mean, along with my other Red Rocks Trampled concert, literally two of the 5 best nights of my life, literally. I mean, this is like the happiest I can ever be is like in this context. It was just amazing.
And we had an amazing cheeseburger.
Oh my God, that's right. We did. So, okay. So, all right. I'm going to go into details about that, Matt. Can I do that?
Yeah, well, I'll just start it off.
Yeah.
It's the only cheeseburger I've ever had to eat that came with instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, you better follow the instructions.
Yes.
You're going to have a world of hurt.
Yeah. It's like you're going to have a bad time. Like
You're going to have a bad time.
Like the ski instructor in that South Park episode. Yeah.
Shout out Caitlin for referencing pizzas and French fries.
So that's right. Yeah. Okay. So this is like this was our last day, wasn't it, Matt?
Yep.
This was on Saturday?
Yep.
Okay, so Saturday, Matt wanted to hit this brewery in Denver that's pretty well known, this English style of brewery called Hogshead.
Yep.
And so we go there. And Matt gets a couple beers. I decide to not have any that day because I had just been having so much and I just wanted a break. But I did have a couple sips. And what was cool about this brewery, and Matt obviously can go into way more detail, but they have a few beers that are being served from a cask. Is that right?
Yes.
Cask.
They were cask beers on beer engines.
Yes. And so what that means then is so the carbonation happens differently, and then also the temperature is different. It's not as cold.
Yes, correct.
And so Matt can obviously go into more detail about that if he wants. But the beers were delicious. Unfortunately, the service was the opposite. The service was not so good. There was one guy there, and there were a few people, but like not that many. And this guy just like straight up ignored us we sat there for like 20 minutes after Matt finished his beers, and Matt wanted to get more, and Matt really liked it. He was even thinking about getting some merch, like, but this guy just like did not acknowledge us. We were sitting like right in front of him at the bar, and he just like kept like chit-chatting with these other guys that were there and just like taking his sweet ass time with everything he did.
Texting on his phone.
Yeah, and it was like pretty fucking annoying. And so we were understandably a little bit annoyed, a little cranky. I think Matt maybe a little more so than me afterwards. But we had been looking up places to go and get some lunch. And I found this place called Lucy's Burger Bar, and it was founded by a Minnesota native who does, some of you may know about Juicy Lucy's, which are a famous burger out of Minnesota, where the burger patty is stuffed with cheese on the inside, right? And so that's the whole deal with this, right? Is they were doing these like in the Minnesota style, and they have regular burgers too, where you can get like the cheese on top, and there were some other things on the menu. But we were like, hey, we're here at a place that like does this thing, and they claim to do it the original way. Like, let's fucking try them. And they were delicious. I mean, they were really excellent burgers. Holy cow. What did they have? They had some onion on them and some pickles.
Yeah, pickles, diced onions, and
that was it, I think. And then cheese in the middle.
Yeah.
And so Matt and I have a tradition that goes all the way back to college. When Matt used to like come through Ithaca and stuff, where we pretty much always we would try to get a burger together. And so I got to say, this was a pretty fitting one, and it put us in a much better mood after the shitty service we received at the brewery beforehand.
Yeah, it was a tiny little strip mall, not strip mall, but
Main tiny Street little like diner looking thing. Yep.
Yeah, we belly right up to the counter. There was maybe 5 tables in there, and then 8 tops on the counter.
Yep. Small place.
Lots of plants on the wall, really small, homey feeling. We had 2 very what's the word I'm looking
What's the
for?
PC way? What's the PC way?
Yeah.
The place was very LGBTQ friendly, and it's woman owned, and the guys who served us were,
they were wonderful, and they were so
wonderful.
nice, and we got good service.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on.
I'm thinking of like Jimmy Vollmer's bits in the Future South Park.
Oh yeah.
They were gay guys, right?
Yeah. But I'm trying to think. Anyway, they were wonderful, and they saved our day.
Yeah, they saved our day.
Grumpy.
Yeah, they were the best. Like, amazing service, amazing burgers. This place, it looks like this old fashioned like 1950s tiny diner, but it's like these, like young LGBTQ like hippies that like run the joint. And the bathroom is like covered in all of these pictures of like badass women and stuff. And there's a quote in the bathroom. There's like a little like pulled out of a magazine or something. I don't know. It says like, sure, sex is good, but have you ever tried fucking the system? Like one of those kind of things, right? Like that was in the bathroom. So this place was just wonderful. I honestly would make a separate trip there next time I go to Colorado, even if it's like totally out of the way. Like this place just was the fucking best. So Lucy's Burger Bar. Yeah.
Nice.
Now you should also go into how you had to eat the burger.
Oh, right. Okay. So Matt was talking about the instructions. So the thing is, right, with a burger stuffed with cheese on the inside, it gets all melty and gooey and delicious, but it gets hot as shit, right? So the instructions talk about like when you first get it, you need to just nibble very carefully on the outside, just to a point where you can like pop open into the middle and let it like steam out, let it air out, and let some of the like the liquid cheese flow out, because that shit's like close to boiling, like it'll scald you good, right?
Yeah. Instruction number 1 was, do not eat this in your car.
Yeah, do not eat it in your car. Right, which is great advice because you would make a huge fucking mess. Um, but yeah, and then I mean there were a whole bunch of others. There were like 8 things I can't remember, but it had to do with, taking the nibbles, giving it time, taking your time, eat it slow, don't eat it in your car.
Yeah, hang on, you're almost there. Trust us.
Right,
You know,
exactly. Wait a few minutes, but you're almost there. We know
it
you're
even gave you
hungry.
like tips on posture, like so you
Yeah,
like chin
that's
out,
right.
chest back,
It was this like
like
cute little
nibble.
this cute little like rectangular piece of paper that they put in like the little red plastic basket with the burger, It was like it was very fun. It was really nice. So yeah, fucking love that place. And the trip was great. The trip was awesome. Matt, you got anything you want to
I
add
mean,
about
just
that trip?
the standard trip. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you had a good time at Red Rocks. First time you
Had
got to see a band that you actually knew and liked at Red
Yeah, the
Rocks.
previous time I went to Red Rocks, I was just seeing a band I knew of but didn't really particularly care for. But I wanted to see a show at Red Rocks, and again, it's up in Morrison, Colorado, outside of Denver. It's you literally hike up to the place once you get in.
Yep.
It's it's an incredible place to see a show. I
Yep.
highly recommend, even if you don't see a concert, go and walk around that place.
Yeah, it's
People
super
work
cool.
out there during the day. They have exercise classes. They have spiritual awakenings. They've got meetings. It's a lot of fun. And we were able to see it. Go to a couple restaurants. We were able to go to Illegal Pete's, which is a great burrito place out there. Although I'd say it was only so this time around.
Yeah,
But it was
fine.
9:45 at night, and we just wanted something to eat.
Yeah.
Got to see good friends and
We
got to try
went
a lot of
to
breweries.
Weldworks up in Greeley was delicious. That was the best brewery we went to, I think,
Yep.
right?
I think we tried 2 or 3 different kinds of green chili while we were out there.
Yep, delicious green chili, absolutely.
Yeah, I just it was one hell of a trip, and Frank Turner put a hell of a show on at the
Yeah, I
Fillmore.
mean, absolutely incredible live performer.
We were at what, show 38 of his 50 states in 50 days.
Yep.
Which was a lot of fun. He mixed it up quite a bit from when we saw him before.
Yep.
In Maryland.
Exactly. We had seen him just a few weeks before.
It was nice to see the giant crowd they had there as well. And I had a blast. It was a weekend I don't think I'll ever come close to replicating in terms of friends and fun and live music anytime soon.
And third row at Red Rocks, I mean, holy fuck! Like when I went a few years ago with my family, and Jeremy was there, we had amazing seats, like 24th or 25th row, which is really cool because you get this amazing view like above the stage, and the sound is really good. And so I was really curious to see the third row, how it would sound, if it was going to be too loud, if the sound was going to be too muddy. But Matt, the sound was good, wasn't it? I mean, I was pretty happy with it.
It was excellent.
Yeah, and we were like right up there. I mean, third row. I mean, goddamn, it was really fucking cool. So, an experience that I am incredibly grateful for. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, good segue, Kyle.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, that's why you're the professional. Now, what about you guys with last weekend with the Camden Yards Yankees game? You gonna talk about that? Yeah, Bronx South, exactly.
Well, yeah, Matt and I got together on Saturday. We saw the loss, the one loss in the 3-game series. Although it started really good and we thought we were gonna see a win. They got off to a quick 1-0 lead. DJ and Judgy back-to-back doubles to start the game and everything. But yeah, it was just a quick meet. Got to go to the game, hang out, catch up. Not actually have ketchup, though, for all you ketchup haters.
That's right. Good.
But I know Matt got to check out a couple places too, and like we were there for the weekend, so like we took Stella to the aquarium. We went to the game Friday night. Judgy hit a couple bombs, which was awesome to get to see, and especially it might be the last time in person I ever get to see him with the Yankees, depending on what happens.
Blasphemy.
George would say that, but George is not alive.
Wait, what did Matt say?
I said that it was blasphemy.
Oh, blasphemy. They're gonna sign him.
I'll say I had much grander plans for Baltimore, which were then curtailed based on the fact that it was hotter than the devil's butt crack down there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this was last weekend, literally, right?
And to quote Colin the night before we came down, bring extra t-shirts. The sweat is real.
Yeah.
And that was immediately like, oh well, shit. I don't know if well, let's look for indoor things or
Yeah.
It was like 97 and 99, like Saturday and Sunday, and
Yeah.
of course down here it's crazy humid. So
we
was
got very
horrible.
lucky that there was a decent amount of cloud cover to at least
Yep.
prevent us from sitting in direct sun. But
That's
I mean, Colin's brother Danny even had it timed down to like, all right, we've got an hour of sunlight before it goes down behind the stadium. That's all we
Yeah.
have to make it.
Yeah. Well, because the night before we were on the complete opposite side and the sun was out and it was beating on, and we were like, oh my God, that's where we're sitting tomorrow. Like it's supposed to be even hotter tomorrow. And so like we were just sitting outside the concourse when I mean, part of it was we were just waiting for Matt. And the other part was just like, we're not going until first pitch because it's too hot. But then luckily when we got up there, we were like, oh, there's a big cloud, and more clouds rolled in. There were like thunderstorms around the area, but it never rained here. Did it rain for you on the drive back, Matt?
No, we were good.
Yeah. So it was nice that the cloud was there, because otherwise I'd probably have a nice little burn on my face or something like that.
No. Nice. Well, we must be cursed or something, because when Matt, when you and I have gone to Camden and see the Yankees, I know we saw them lose at least once this year.
The first time we saw them last year, it was fine.
They won.
Then we saw them and it rained, and it was the Abbott brother concert.
That's right.
Mhm.
Avid brother, Abbott, whatever, however you say it. And then this year it was the sleet hail game.
Hail.
And they lost.
No,
That
they won
was-
that game.
I thought we saw them lose because then they turned it on after that, and they've been great ever since.
They won that
They
game.
lost
Remember,
that series.
Donaldson hit a home run while we were sitting down in the
Oh,
that was
that's
the only
right,
game
when
that
we went
series
down to
they
the
won.
bar. That's right. Okay. All right. They did win that game. All right.
And to be fair, Friday night, yeah, we saw a win and Judge hit 2 homers, but we probably saw the most costly win of the season because Mariano Rivera 2.0 blew his elbow out, fractured his elbow, and
Yeah, how did that happen? I didn't.
just threw the pitch and immediately started screaming into his glove, and trainers came out, and
Wow.
that was it.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
So
Boone said
he's
today
gone.
that
He's gone for ages. Okay.
Yeah, Boone said today that he's having the surgery, and they're
Tommy
not
John.
going to know if it's going to be Tommy John until they get in there. So he has
Wow.
to have at least one surgery to fix the fracture. And then if it's a UCL tear, they'll have to go back in and do Tommy John surgery. But they just don't know right now. So they said, I mean, the beat writer said after the game, like, even though they won, it was like, very somber clubhouse and everything. And yeah, it sucks like when a guy is having a breakout year like that. And
horrible.
yeah, just really horrific injury, but it's part of sports. So,
Yep. Oh,
and I think if we're able to do this next week, if we're able to do 2 weeks in a row, we will be the day after the trade deadline.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, that'll be fun.
So
Yeah.
I think we'll have. I mean, who knows when the fireworks are going to start? They literally could happen at any point.
Yeah.
I think there are some big moves that are going to happen.
Oh, yeah, big
Castillo
time.
and JD Martinez and Frankie Montas and
Mhm.
couple other
Possibly
people.
Juan Soto,
possibly Juan Soto,
which is
yep.
unbelievable, but it could happen.
Yep. So I think we'll plan on doing a trade recap, not just for the Yankees, but just reactions to any big trades that go down over the course of the next week. And I mean, there's definitely some other things that have happened. I mean, just today, and we can talk about this all more next week. So we'll just tease some things. I mean, Judge going into today was 2 homers behind Maris's pace. Do we think he can get to 61?
He's
I'm
two
still
behind.
was 2 behind his pace. Maris
Wow.
had 40 homers after 98 games. Judge has 38.
Okay.
We talked about the Soto thing. We'll know by next week if that actually happens. The Jays firing Charlie Monteo. That's a pretty weird and big story.
Yeah.
The Red
true.
Sox not knowing how to play defense.
Yeah.
Again tonight, two errors on one play by the
Really?
first baseman. Like it's
Okay.
Michael Scher is going crazy about it, and it's
Oh,
hilarious.
I'll have to look at it. Okay,
Oh
but
yeah.
really quickly, a quick pause because I want to talk. Well, let's talk more about this next week because it pisses me off so much. People suck Alex Cora's dick so
Oh, I
fucking
know.
hard.
I know.
Talk about how he is the greatest manager. Blah 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 blah
Terrible.
blah blah blah.
They
And
had
now,
one good team.
yeah, and now this shit is happening. And like, if you're gonna give the manager credit for like whatever other shit, how are you gonna just like not ignore it in this case? Like when a team all of a sudden is fucking up this bad with like basic fundamentals, how are you not gonna at least lay some of the blame on the fucking coaches and maybe reconsider the bullshit rosy fucking lens you've been looking at your manager through?
Yes, I would love to destroy Alex Cora next
Yeah,
week.
god
Nothing
damn.
would make me happier,
Yeah, all right, we're doing that.
except maybe Altuve getting plunked. But
Yes.
and then the other big thing that we might have some more clarity on, because this just dropped today, and I don't even know if you guys saw it, because I know Matt, you were working late, and Ethan, you were working. Mike Trout has been diagnosed with a rare back condition.
Oh no.
His career is not over.
His
Okay.
career is not over, as far as we know right now. He has not played in a little while. They do not know when, if he'll return, this season, but there is some type of back injury or condition, however you want to classify it, that Trouty is dealing with, and to a certain extent brings back memories of Don Mattingly, although we were too young to remember when that actually happened. But
Right.
obviously Trout was at his best, better than even Donnie was, even though Donnie was like the top 5 player in the 80s. But yeah, just super sad. Hopefully it's not anything serious. Maybe we'll have more information next week that we can talk through with that. But that was definitely, they're definitely like trying to downplay it, I think, because there is no really like known information about how serious it is right now. And Trout is like not really, I mean, unsurprisingly, not really saying anything
Right.
about it. But I'm sure there are people within the organization right now, the Angels organization, who are freaking out. And maybe this means that Ohtani could also be on the move.
Oh, I know. I saw people speculating that could happen. That's
Yeah,
pretty hard
right,
to believe.
right.
But...
There were people speculating that before this news dropped today.
Right.
Wow. Who knows?
Yeah.
So a lot of craziness with baseball happening. I figured we would just catch up with life and everything, because we had a whole lot happening during our vacation, which was much needed. We're back, we're refreshed, we're ready to go. You guys got any shout outs you want to throw out before we end it here?
I remember the word I was trying to think of earlier, and I'm sad it took me. Flamboyant. Why didn't I think of that word?
Oh, I was wondering if that's what you were
They
thinking.
were
With
wonderfully
Messi and,
flamboyant. They
Ronaldo?
saved our
Flamboyant.
trip. They were so friendly and nice. They provided great service, and the food was delicious.
Yeah, very cheery and warm and friendly. Yeah, they were wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, did that make it on the mic? That was kind of loud.
I thought I heard. Was that Boris?
That is the podcat.
I heard a little
podcat.
Yeah. Look at the podcat. Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Love it.
Camera shy.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. He's ready. Better watch out, Matt. Be taking over.
Yeah, I mean he's got plenty of things to say, so I'll maybe one day he'll sub for me. Oh man, I thought I had some good ideas. Now I'm blanking. I was thinking so hard on what that word was that I couldn't remember that now I forgot everything else.
Well, there's always next week, Matt.
I will say, Colin, and this is going to be controversial. So, you guys ready?
Uh-oh.
For someone who hates Altuve so much, you emulate him. You were, and I say this lovingly, but you were a diminutive middle infielder who hit for power but also had speed and average. So I'm just saying.
I know, and I did like him. I just can't get over the whole. It's not even the 2017 thing. It's the potential wire.
Even though you are MVP a couple of years, I will say the difference is you didn't have to cheat to be as good as you were.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, I also didn't make it to the major leagues, so I'm not passing that hard of a judgment on him. Like, So.
Yeah, I'm blanking on some shout outs. Other than, shout out Caitlin. Thanks for meeting us in Denver. Shout out Paul and Alex. Looks like your hockey draft tourney went well. There's some
Oh yeah,
people we
they were
also
awesome. I
saw,
liked all those people. Yeah.
yeah, at concerts and in Denver. Shoot, I had another shout out. I thought of. I'm just forgetting stuff. My brain is scrambled. Maybe it's because I had 24 ounces of lemonade hard seltzer. I don't know.
From fucking
Maybe,
Corona,
maybe
that's
not.
right. Well, hey,
Um,
we were out for a week. We're a little rusty. It's all right.
um,
Yeah, or not a week, a month. A month. We were out for like a month.
yeah,
So
it's been a
28
while.
days.
yeah. Well,
Ethan,
So.
what do you got?
I don't really do shout outs that much. I mean, I'll shout out my brother Jeremy because he was pestering me last week about where his podcast content was.
Yeah,
And
Jeremy, I'll say
now he's got
I'm
it.
not as good a replacement. I mean, Ethan had a wonderful time with me, but he'd have an even better time with you. So
Oh, I mean, I would have a better time with both of you.
nothing replaces a brother.
So
Shout out Dave.
yeah.
Shout out
Big
Danny
And
Timmy.
we've been gone for a while, so people, we did all the mailbag questions with cousin Greg's kids, but the rest of you, send us in your questions. I'm sure you've been fucking burning up with them for a month. Like when are those guys gonna answer my questions? Send them in.